Haven't recorded in months. Pewdiepie, the legend of the Brofist. So you all know the channel Pewdiepie, YouTube's golden boy. I guess not anymore. The #1 most subscribed to channel as of recording. Anyway, you all know Pewdiepie. Pewdiepie has been the #1 most subscribed to channel for several years now. He does a lot of charity-based activity, he wasn't in YouTube Rewind, and he has made a couple of video games. There are 3 games that Pewdiepie has claimed. Pewdiepie's Tuber Simulator.
One man has sat at the top, but now, you have the chance to take him out.
In Pewdiepie's Tuber Simulator.
Pewdiepie, the Legend of the Brofist, and Animal Super Squad. You see, the joke with that one is that the acronym is A. The concept of the game is that barrels, yes, wooden barrels, have stolen all of PewDiePie's subscribers and plans to use them for something called the legendary Brofist. Felix isn't happy about that, so he recruits his friends to save his fans. Now, the game's story is minimalist. Characters introduce themselves at a moment's notice, only to disappear just as quick. Although, to be fair, if you were expecting a complex story from a game with the title PewDiePie Legend of the Brofist, you should reconsider. We have the man himself, 2015 PewDiePie, his girlfriend Marcia, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, Cinnamon Toast Ken, Cryotic, and you get the idea. They're all famous YouTubers, which is cool and all, but the problem with that is that you get varying levels of voice acting, it being especially bad with characters like PewDiePie himself. My major problem with this is that all of his lines sound incredibly forced.
It doesn't work that way.
Man, it's like one of my videos. Markiplier was able to make his lines sound a lot more natural, which kept it from sounding way too forced. Baddies of the game vary from sentient barrels to skeletons to India. Okay, there's a lot of enemies, but you get the idea. You also get a buddy or buddies to come along with you on your adventure. These are usually a dog or two or a floating green eyeball. I don't know. The gameplay on Steam, because this is Steam review, does not feature WASD. Instead, it uses the arrow keys. Kinda. Technically, you can do ASD and spacebar, which is a weird choice, or the arrow keys. I personally played with the arrow keys because I was always click W to jump. Also, the game doesn't even mention ASD as a feature on the controls menu, so I mean, I guess that really tells you all you need to know. The gameplay is really floaty, as if every level was on the moon. And I mean, the game does have levels on the moon, so I guess that works out. To take out your enemies, you have to jump on them or use your special attack. The attacks can change depending on which character you're playing as. If you lose most of your hearts and get hit, or fall off a moving car, etc., your buddy, if you have one, will save you from death. However, they can only do this twice, or once depending on the character. When you beat a level, you can get coins depending on the difficulty of the level, which you can set at the beginning, the number of buddies you still have alive, and how fast you can complete the level. The gameplay is fine. I didn't have that many problems. Moving on to the design. When you start, most levels have their own individual aesthetic to it, but as the game continues, it gives you more expected levels for a platformer. Places like the snow area, the clouds, and the moon are all surprisingly common in platforming games. Now, do I think this is a problem? No. The game has really nice artwork made for each of these locations, and it all looks very nice. Speaking of sprite art, the character sprites look really good, and the animations on them are very smooth with no real problems. Basically, PewDiePie's game has some really nice art. The music sounds nice too. Nothing I'd buy separately, but definitely something that sounds nice while playing the game. Well, you made it to the moon. Depending on how well you did, you might have a full cast of characters and a full set of hearts. With that being said, you still have to defeat the boss, King Barrel, who plans to use PewDiePie's fans to form the legendary Brofist. Oh god, this is so stupid. Anyway, you beat the boss, who does not go using the rule of threes, all platforming video game bosses are obligated to go by. You destroy him using the Brofist, and now you can do it all again. Only this time, perfectly. Yeah, have fun with that, because I'm not going to do that yet. I've once again updated the grading system here. Forget about the proper review chart. I'm going to leave it as just my personal opinion because the other chart was largely subjective as well. I think that this game belongs well above games like Meteor 60 Seconds and Kindergarten. In fact, I enjoyed this game a lot more than DLC Quest. But not as much as Doki Doki Literature Club. I think that game had a certain charm to it that was lacking from this one. Or maybe it's just because that game wasn't as frustrating as Legendary of the Brofist. Who knows? PewDiePie Legend of the Brofist has some great elements to it, despite being PewDiePie's first venture into making video games. This could be due to the fact that this was made by the developers over at Outer Minds, who also made the next PewDiePie game, PewDiePie's Tuber Simulator. Now, what do I think about this game as a whole? I think that the game definitely was an enjoyable experience, although I guarantee it would have been a lot better if I consistently watched PewDiePie's videos. Would I recommend it? Yes. I think it's a decent platformer and fairly cheap for the amount of content it provides. Or you could just play it on your phone, which is about as good. So it's your call. I don't care. Just don't expect me to talk about Animal Super Squad anytime soon. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'm hoping to get this out as soon as possible because I don't want the gap between uploads to be ridiculous. But I do have a lot more content in the works, some that will be uploaded to my second channel, so be sure to check that out for occasional uploads. As I said, thank you all for watching, all support is appreciated, and I will see you next time. Bye.